Very nice. Prefer it to the red, actually. It's our very own hitman. It is Frank, the Hall of Fame promoter. Warren, welcome back. You just keep rolling them out, Frank. Here we go again, another card. You've already set the tone for 2025.
This is a cracking card, cracking fight, main event. You know, Derek in his 49th fight, he wants to get to 50, so he can't afford to lose. And he's in with a really good competitor in Oscar Volin. And I'm a big believer in styles that make fights, and this will make a fight. And like Derek's mantra and his logo is war, it will be a war. This fight will be a war. And you know, his 49th fight, he wants to get to 50, so he can't afford to lose. And you know, Otto's only had 2 losses on his record, and those were to 2 world champions in AJ, and he retired on his tour against AJ, against a very good AJ, when AJ was showing a really good form, and against Tyson, who he gave a tough fight to, and Tyson had a really bad cut in that fight, 37 stitches. So we know what to expect. We know he comes to fight. Derek knows he comes to fight. He's 41 now. So, you know, he wants to get to 50 fights, and to do that, he's got to do a job on the 8th of February here at the Co-op Live Arena.
Contingency plans, all of us, we were there waiting. We thought, yeah, press conference, Jarrell Miller, there's going to be tables, there's going to be fist fights before the fight. It didn't quite work out that way, and Otto, having experienced similar issues by what he outlaid there with his former promoter, making this fight and doing it at such short notice, albeit there's still time.
Yeah, well, look, we've done it, we've got it on, and that's the most important thing. We wanted to announce it all, obviously, this side of Christmas, which we've done today. It was a shame that the other one, but there were a few problems there, but they got, you know, it's no point in dwelling on that. We get on with what we got, and what we got is an extraordinary good fight and a fabulous undercard, a really strong fighting undercard.
Learning Otto Wallin, obviously, like you said, he retired on his stool against what you'd call the better version of Anthony Joshua that we saw on his resurgence, for want for a better word. How do you think he fares against Derek Chisora, the man that always comes to put a show on?
How are you going to fare in this fight? What's going to happen? He's going to come. He's coming for your arse. You know that. So what's going to happen? Tell me.
They all do come for my ass.
So what's going to happen?
Oh, you don't worry about that.
You're going to do the business.
The name says it all. War. There's no peace. We're going to start today and put the fear in God in this kid.
Working back with Frank Warren, then a rekindled relationship. How's it going so far?
We're in love again, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, we are. You know what?
Don't tell the boys.
I see Frank a couple of weeks ago, Frank was one of my friends in town hanging out, having a Christmas drink. It was good fun, though.
Yeah.
With Lawrence. But you know what? It's good to see Frank here. You know, it's been a while together. Been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he let's say what you said. He said he's coming to help the aged. He's coming to help the aged and look after.
Is it the aged helping the aged now? Because you're up in the heavyweight.
We're going to go off into the sunset.
I like it. All the best, Del. Working back with Derek. How is it?
Well,
on a serious note,
we've had been working for him for a couple of fights now. So he had that great fight, him and Joe Joyce. One of the fights of the years. I mean, that shouldn't go under the radar. That was a cracking heavyweight fight, and that's again because of styles, and that's what this thing will be as well. This will be styles. This fight will be a good fight because of the two of them. They will fight. The winner will get himself into a decent position. And I know I'm always saying these things, but this heavyweight division is so lively at the moment. He will. And Derek wants to get to the big 5-0.
He definitely does. And the thing is, he was mentioning it there. He says something about you're dangling that carrot. You can see his eyes rolling around in his head. He's far from finished. If he went to 55 fights, I really wouldn't be surprised. But what is that carrot for Derek or Otto?
Because of what is happening at the moment in the heavyweight division, the top echelons of it, on the 21st of December in Riyadh season fight, we've got the rematch between Tyson and Usyk. That's a cracker of a fight. Daniel Dubois is going to be fighting next year and defending his title. So all these guys are all jostling around looking to get a shot or become mandatory. And you only do that by being active and winning fights. And that's what this is all about.
One of the things that you have done, Frank, is, and I mentioned it earlier on today when I was speaking to Gareth A. Davis, is that You've managed, albeit we've got the Saudi influence, we've got His Excellency's influence, you still manage to roll the shows out in the UK. Sometimes, you know, if there's not a Saudi event on, you can guarantee that whether it's York Hall or the Co-op, Frank Warren's got a show on. How have you managed to balance the two and keep... There's almost like a pecking order with the boxing now.
I think where we are is, I mean, we're about putting big shows on. We got a magnificent show, 7 show next week at Wembley. Fabulous show. I'm looking forward to that. You know, you've got Brad Paul in there against Denzel Bentley. And that's now basically a final elimination for the world title. So what a good carrot to dangle for the winner of that fight. So you know that's going to be competitive. And the undercard is fabulous, as is the undercard of our show on February the 8th here. It's
Willie Hutchinson comes back, Zach Parker.
Willie Hutchinson and Zach Parker is a great fight. That's a great fight. And again, that light heavyweight division is livened up. You know, that unification fight they had, it's really lively. And so, you know, boxing's in a really good place, and British boxing's in a really good place because, you know, we're putting on some fabulous shows, there's no doubt about it. I think all of us as promoters are putting on good shows, but as a better. But there's some really good fights on, and great value for money for the fans.
Ezra Cannon, the tailor.
Yeah,
Ezra, the Cannon tailor, put my teeth back in. I'm sure he'll be looking at Zach Parker versus Willie Hutchinson, a fighter that's still young, still fresh, but is keen to get in the mix with those guys.
Well, he will. The winners will. That's what will happen. The winners will be in the mix. You know, losers can come back. You know, you lose a fight, it's not the end of the world. And Derek, I mean, that does happen. But the winners, you know you're there. You're going to move on. You're going to move forward. So for all of them, it's exciting. It's exciting times for us as promoters. For the fighters, it's unbelievable, exciting times, and they are in a position where they can really catapult themselves into the real big time and get real big money. So it's brilliant for them, and that means at the end of the day, it's brilliant for the fans.
And not overlooking Otto, of course, for this next fight, but the last fight, you've kind of like sold it here. This is the last UK hurrah.
This is the last dance, and we don't want no party poopers. He's got to do the business, but it ain't going to be easy. It won't be easy, I'm telling you.
Potential Dillian White as the finale. Look
well,
at
he's
that.
He's got to sort his licence issue out, so we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of licensing, we've realised now that Conor Benny's free as a bird. He's
I
back.
just heard.
It's literally come out a couple of hours ago. They're not going to appeal the decision. Him fighting back again and potentially against Chris Eubank Jr.
He's in a position where he's allowed to fight. That's great for him and boxing. He'll get himself into some good fights now. No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
And Queensberry's final word for the boxing fans. How many shows is Frank Warren and Queensberry looking to put on in 2025?
We'll do well over 20 shows next year. Well over that. Yeah.
And that's what we like to hear. Listen, Frank, always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
I shall see you, hopefully, next week.
Next week, I look forward to it.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.